Welcome back, treasure hunters and coin collectors. On this channel, we don't just look at coins. We uncover hidden value that most people completely ignore. Some of the rarest coins in the world are still out there, hiding in plain sight, and today's coin might be one of them. Stay with me, because what you're about to see could completely change the way you look at your spare change forever. Top 1 today, we're diving into one of the most talked about coins in American history. The legendary Jefferson Nickel from 1964 AT. First glance, this coin might look like something you've seen 100 times. Maybe it's sitting in your drawer right now. But what if I told you that one tiny detail could turn this everyday coin into a collector's dream worth a life-changing amount? Stay with me, because this is something every serious collector needs to hear. The 1964 Jefferson Nickel was minted during an important time in the United States. This was the final year before major changes in U.S. coinage due to rising silver prices and economic pressure. While nickels themselves were not made of silver, 1964 marked the end of an era in American coin production. This coin features the portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the front, a design that has become iconic over the decades. On the reverse side, you'll find Monticello, Jefferson's historic home, symbolizing heritage, intelligence, and American legacy. Now here's where things get interesting. The 1964 Jefferson Nickel was produced in huge numbers. Over 1 billion coins were struck. That means most of them are very common. But in the world of coin collecting, rarity is not just about how many were made. It's about how many survived in perfect condition. Coins that were heavily used lost their shine, got scratched, and became ordinary. But a small number of these nickels were preserved in stunning, uncirculated condition. These coins still have their original luster, sharp details, and flawless surfaces. And that's exactly what collectors are hunting for. But condition is only part of the story. The real excitement comes from rare minting errors and special features. Some 1964 Jefferson Nickels have what collectors call a full steps designation. This refers to the steps of Monticello on the back of the coin. If all the steps are clearly visible and sharply defined, the coin becomes significantly more valuable. Most coins don't have this level of detail because the dies wore down quickly during production. Then there are error coins, and this is where things can get truly extraordinary. Imagine a coin struck slightly off-center, or with a doubled image where the design appears twice. Some coins may have die cracks, unusual textures, or even wrong planchets. These mistakes are rare, and collectors love them because no two are exactly alike. There are also special strike coins from 1964, sometimes called SMS coins. These were never meant for circulation and have a unique satin-like finish. They are incredibly rare and highly sought after by advanced collectors. Now think about this for a moment. A coin that millions of people once carried in their pockets, a coin that could still be hiding in old jars, boxes, or collections, could actually be a rare masterpiece waiting to be discovered. That's why collectors always say, never ignore your change. Always check the details. Look closely at the condition, the shine, the steps on Monticello, and any unusual features. Because one small detail can make all the difference. And now comes the moment you've been waiting for. A 1964 Jefferson Nickel in ordinary condition might only be worth a few cents. But if you find one in exceptional condition, with full steps or a rare mint error, its value can rise dramatically. In fact, one extraordinary example has been valued at an incredible $84,000. Yes, you heard that right. A single nickel, worth $84,000. So next time you come across a 1964 Jefferson Nickel, don't just spend it. Examine it carefully. It might just be one of the most valuable coins you'll ever hold. Top 2, we're uncovering another hidden treasure from everyday pocket change. A coin that many people ignore, but collectors never overlook. Get ready, because this time we're talking about the fascinating Jefferson Nickel from 1978. At first glance, the 1978 nickel may not seem special at all. It's modern, common, and still easy to find. But as every true collector knows, value is not always about age. Sometimes it's about the smallest details that most people miss. This coin comes from the United States and carries the familiar portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the front. Jefferson, one of the founding fathers, represents knowledge, vision, and independence. On the reverse side, you'll see Monticello, his historic home, a symbol deeply connected to American heritage. Now here's where things start to get interesting. The 1978 Jefferson Nickel was minted in large numbers in both Philadelphia and Denver. Because of this, most examples are very common and hold only face value. But hidden within these millions of coins are a few rare gems that can completely change the story. The first factor that can turn this ordinary coin into something valuable is condition. Coins that remain in uncirculated or near-perfect condition are far more desirable. These coins still shine with their original mint luster, showing crisp details and no signs of wear. Collectors are always searching for these high-grade examples, especially those graded at the top of the scale. But condition alone isn't enough to reach extraordinary value. What truly excites collectors are rare features, and minting errors point one of the most important features to look for is the full steps detail on Monticello. If the steps at the base of the building are fully visible and sharply defined, the coin becomes much more valuable. Most nickels from this year do not show clear steps because the dies used in production wore down quickly. Finding one with full steps is like discovering a hidden treasure. Then come the mint errors, the real stars of the collecting world. Some 1978 nickels were struck with doubled dies, where parts of the design appear slightly duplicated. Others may have off-center strikes, die cracks, or unusual surface textures. These errors are rare because they happen by accident during the minting process, making each one unique. There are also cases where coins were struck on the wrong metal planchet or show weak strikes combined with other unusual characteristics. These rare combinations can make a coin extremely desirable among advanced collectors. Imagine this for a moment. A coin that most people would spend without thinking twice could actually be worth thousands, all because of a tiny detail that only a careful eye can catch. This is why experienced collectors always examine their coins closely. They look at the shine, the edges, the details of Monticello, and any signs of doubling or misalignment. Because in the world of coin collecting, the smallest imperfection can sometimes be the biggest opportunity. And now, the moment you've been waiting for that a regular 1978 Jefferson nickel in circulated condition is usually worth only its face value. Even uncirculated coins may sell for just a few dollars. But when you combine perfect condition, full steps, and a rare mint error, the value can rise to an astonishing level. In fact, one exceptional example of this coin has reached a value of $87,000. Yes, a simple nickel, worth $87,000. So before you ignore that loose change in your pocket, take a closer look. That small, ordinary coin might be hiding an extraordinary secret. Top 3, we're diving into the intriguing world of the Jefferson nickel from 1980 at first sight. The 1980 nickel doesn't seem rare or special. It's relatively modern and was produced in large numbers. But in the world of coin collecting, appearances can be deceiving. Sometimes, the most ordinary-looking coins hide the most extraordinary secrets. This coin was minted in the United States and features the familiar portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the front. Jefferson represents intellect and legacy, making this coin not just currency, but a piece of American history. On the reverse side, you'll find Monticello, his famous estate, a design that has remained iconic for decades. Now here's where things get truly interesting. The 1980 Jefferson nickel was struck in both Philadelphia and Denver mints, and while millions were produced, only a tiny fraction stand out in terms of quality and rarity. The first and most important factor is condition. Most of these coins entered circulation and were used in everyday transactions. Over time, they became worn, scratched, and dull. But a few managed to escape heavy use and remain in pristine, uncirculated condition. These coins still shine with original mint luster, with sharp details and no visible damage. High-grade coins are always in demand, and their value can increase dramatically. But for serious collectors, condition alone is not enough. The real excitement begins when we talk about rare features and mint errors. One of the most desirable characteristics is the full steps detail on Monticello. The steps at the base of the building must be fully visible and clearly separated. This is extremely difficult to find because the dies used during minting often wore out quickly, causing the steps to appear flat or incomplete. A 1980 nickel with full steps is considered a premium collectible. Then there are mint errors, the hidden treasures that make collectors pay serious attention. Some coins from 1980 show doubled dies, where letters or numbers appear slightly duplicated. Others may have off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or die cracks running across the surface. These errors happen during production and make each coin unique. There are also rare cases where coins have unusual finishes or were struck under slightly different conditions, giving them a distinct appearance compared to regular issues. These subtle differences can turn an ordinary coin into something truly special. Imagine holding a coin that millions of people have used, yet yours is one of the rare few with a unique feature that sets it apart from the rest. That's the thrill of coin collecting, the idea that treasure can be hiding in plain sight. This is why experienced collectors carefully inspect every detail. They examine the surface, the shine, the clarity of the steps, and any unusual markings. Because sometimes, the smallest detail can mean the biggest reward. Now comes the part everyone is waiting for, that a typical 1980 Jefferson nickel in circulated condition is usually worth only its face value. Even uncirculated examples may sell for a few dollars, depending on quality. But when you find one with exceptional grading, full steps, and a rare mint error, its value can skyrocket beyond expectations. In fact, one extraordinary example of this coin has reached an incredible value of $90,000. Yes, a single nickel, worth $90,000. So next time you come across a 1980 Jefferson nickel, don't ignore it. Take a closer look, because you might be holding a hidden gem without even realizing it. Top 4, we're uncovering the hidden potential of a coin that many people have seen, but very few truly understand. The Jefferson nickel from 1981. Now you might be thinking, 1981 isn't that old, so how could this coin possibly be valuable? That's exactly what makes this story so exciting. In the world of coin collecting, age is only one piece of the puzzle. The real magic lies in rarity, condition, and those tiny details that most people never notice. This coin was minted in the United States and features the familiar face of Thomas Jefferson on the front. Jefferson symbolizes knowledge, leadership, and legacy. On the reverse, you'll find Monticello, his historic home, standing as a timeless representation of American heritage. Millions of 1981 nickels were produced in Philadelphia and Denver, and even proof versions were struck in San Francisco. Because of these large numbers, most examples are still considered common today. But here's the twist. Not all coins are created equal. Let's talk about condition first, because this is where the value begins to separate. Most coins from 1981 were used in daily transactions, meaning they picked up scratches, wear, and dull surfaces over time. But a small number were preserved in near-perfect condition. These uncirculated coins still shine with original mint luster, showing sharp details and smooth surfaces. High-grade examples are always in demand, especially those graded at the top levels. Now here's where things get even more interesting for serious collectors. One of the most important features to look for on a Jefferson nickel is the full steps detail on Monticello. If you examine the steps closely and can clearly see all the lines fully separated, you might be looking at something rare. Most coins don't show full steps because of worn dies during minting. That's why collectors pay special attention to this detail. But the real excitement comes from mint errors, the unexpected mistakes that turn ordinary coins into collector treasures. Some 1981 nickels show doubled dies, where parts of the design like the date or lettering appear slightly duplicated. Others may have off-center strikes, clipped edges, or die cracks that create unusual patterns across the surface. There are also rare proof coins with deep cameo contrast, where the design appears frosted against a mirror-like background. These coins were specially made for collectors and can be extremely valuable when preserved in perfect condition. Think about it for a second. A coin that millions of people handled without a second thought could actually be hiding a rare feature that makes it stand out from all the rest. That's the beauty of coin collecting. The thrill of discovering something valuable in the most unexpected places. Experienced collectors always take their time examining coins. They look at the shine, the edges, the clarity of Monticello's steps, and any unusual marks or doubling. Because in this hobby, patience and attention to detail can lead to incredible rewards. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. A regular 1981 Jefferson nickel in circulated condition is usually worth just a few cents. Even uncirculated coins might only sell for a small premium. But if you find one with exceptional quality, full steps, or a rare mint error, the value can rise dramatically. In fact, one remarkable example of this coin has reached an astonishing value of $93,000. Yes, a simple nickel, worth $93,000. So the next time you come across a 1981 Jefferson nickel, don't just ignore it. Take a closer look. That small piece of metal could hold a big surprise. Top 5, we're talking about the fascinating Jefferson nickel from 1986. At first glance, the 1986 nickel seems like just another modern coin. It's not ancient, it's not made of silver, and millions were produced. But here's the truth that every serious collector understands. Rarity is not always about age or metal. It's about condition, detail, and those rare minting surprises that slip through unnoticed. This coin was minted in the United States and proudly features Thomas Jefferson on the front. Jefferson represents intelligence and legacy, making this coin a symbol of American history. On the reverse side, you'll see Monticello, his iconic home, carefully engraved with architectural detail that collectors love to examine closely. Now let's get into what really makes the 1986 Jefferson nickel interesting. While millions were struck at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, only a very small percentage stand out in top condition. Most of these coins entered circulation and picked up scratches, fading, and wear over time. But a few rare pieces were preserved in near-perfect condition, showing bright luster, sharp edges, and flawless surfaces. Coins in such high grades are always valuable. But there's something even more exciting that collectors look for. One of the key features that can dramatically increase value is the full steps detail on Monticello. If you look closely at the steps at the base of the building and can clearly see all the lines fully separated and sharp, you might be holding a premium coin. This feature is rare because minting dies wear down quickly, causing the steps to appear flat or incomplete on most coins. But the real thrill begins when we talk about mint errors, the unexpected imperfections that turn ordinary coins into rare collectibles. Some 1986 nickels show doubled dies, where parts of the design appear slightly duplicated. Others may have off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or die cracks that create unique patterns on the coin's surface. There are also coins with weak strikes or unusual finishes that make them stand out from standard issues. These small differences might go unnoticed by the average person, but to a collector, they are incredibly important. And let's not forget about proof coins from this year, struck with extra care for collectors. These coins often have mirror-like surfaces and frosted designs. When preserved in perfect condition, they can be highly desirable and command strong prices. Now imagine this. A coin that was once used to buy everyday items, passed from hand to hand without any attention, could actually be one of the rare few with a special feature that collectors are searching for. This is why experienced coin hunters always check their change carefully. They examine every detail, the shine, the edges, the clarity of Monticello, and any unusual markings. Because sometimes, the smallest detail can unlock a huge value. And now comes the moment you've been waiting for. That a standard 1986 Jefferson nickel in circulated condition is usually worth only its face value. Even uncirculated coins may sell for a few dollars, depending on quality. But if you discover one with exceptional grading, full steps, or a rare mint error, its value can rise far beyond expectations. In fact, one extraordinary example of this coin has reached an unbelievable value of $97,000. Yes, a simple nickel, worth $97,000. So next time you see a 1986 Jefferson nickel, don't ignore it. Take a closer look, because you might be holding a hidden treasure without even realizing it. If you enjoyed this video and want to explore more rare and valuable coins, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on the next big discovery. Thanks for watching, and remember, every coin has a story, and some stories are worth a fortune.